and welcome to our Touch Base Thursday for November 18th. Just going to give it a minute here for all of you to find me live before I get started. Apologize, I am a touch late going live with you all tonight. I just simply lost track of time upstairs. So anyway, hi to Patty and Carol, and welcome, ladies. Excited to share with you one of my favorite bundles in the catalog tonight. And I think I may have to have one of my girls go up and get the project that I left upstairs. Oh, nope, she's getting it for me. All right. Anyway, so like I said, I have a really pretty project that I'm going to share with you first of all. I'm going to show it to you. So this is one of my projects that I'm going to talk to you about tonight, and one of the projects that I created using the Peaceful Cabin bundle. This is actually a class that I am offering here in my basement. Now, if you are not local to Mount Pleasant, I am able to offer this class in a to-go format. It's the only thing I'm not really able to do is a lot of the stamping. But if you have this bundle, I can absolutely show you guys how to do this. This project was inspired by my friend Tina. I can't take full credit for this, but it is gorgeous in this shadow box. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys about this project in more detail. You'll get to see it up close and personal as when I transition my camera down. But I am in love. Thank you, Carol. I'm in love with this bundle. And when you see how easy it is to use, it actually looks kind of confusing. But when you see how easy it is to use, you guys are going to love this bundle. Okay, so first of all, a few things that I have. I'm looking at myself going, oh my gosh, my hair is really flat tonight, you guys. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so but that's what I get. It's been a crazy day. I've been on 2 different Facebook Lives. I had to train in my other group that I do, and I had to run Claire to dance, and anyway, I've been all over the place today. Okay, so a few things that I have in the way of announcements before we get started. So my girls are crazy busy with Nutcracker rehearsals. So tomorrow they are rehearsing, I think it's for almost 3 hours, and their performance is in 2 weeks. So if you are local to the Mount Pleasant area, and you have a couple hours to spare, the weekend of, December 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I would love to have you come and support them. They have put, a lot of the dancers there have put a lot of time and effort into this performance. So excited to see them perform. So anyway, and then tomorrow, Claire gets to perform at the CMU Honors Orchestra. And this is the event where she actually met her private instructor 2 years ago. So he recommended her for this year. They weren't able to do it last year, so she's excited about that. So she will be at the Honors Orchestra tomorrow, and then tomorrow Natalie gets to compete for a huge scholarship at CMU. It's called Centralis. So it's they award different things. They give you either full ride scholarships, tuition-based scholarships, room and board-based scholarships. It's based on writing and leadership and things like that. So she is sitting for that tomorrow. So we have a busy day in our house tomorrow, that is for sure. And I will be working through it all, although I do get to go and watch Claire's performance at the end of the day. So I'll get to see her perform in her orchestra. They actually do like a rehearsals all day, and then I get to watch her perform at the end. So that'd be kind of cool. So anyway, I want to also address one of the elephants in the room, and that is that next Thursday is Thanksgiving. I've already had people ask me if I was going to be doing a Facebook Live next week because it's Thanksgiving. So I will not be doing a Facebook Live next Thursday. Boo-hoo. But how would you guys feel if I did a Facebook Live on Wednesday? Would you like that? So anyway, I'm looking at doing my Facebook Live on Wednesday of next week instead. Now, I know some of you might be traveling or some of you might be gone. You can always catch me on replay. But I am not going to be traveling until the weekend. We are doing Thanksgiving with my mom on Sunday of the weekend after Thanksgiving. So I will be available to do a Facebook Live on Wednesday night. So you'll still get to hear me, you'll still get to see me, and I'm going to be showcasing the Painted Christmas Bundle next week. So anyway, I'll just, like I said, put that big elephant out and let you guys know that I will be sharing with you guys the night before Thanksgiving next week instead of Thanksgiving night. So that way you guys can all spend your Thanksgiving with your family. And I still get to share my fun projects with all of you. So, okay. Today is the last day of the seasonal sale. So if you have not purchased any cardstock, ink, or dies are from the annual catalog yet, now is your chance to do so. Oh, good. I'm glad that you guys are excited that I'm still going to do my Facebook Live next week. I don't like to cancel. I like to be live with you guys. So anyway, I got looking at that on the calendar and I went, oh, it's Thursday. But yeah, I'm going to be around. So we're still going to do it. Okay, so yeah, the seasonal sale ends today. So it's 10% off all cardstock, 20% off all inks. Inks are just individual inks, not bundled inks. And then it is 20% off all dies from the annual catalog only. Now, I've had the question from a couple of my customers, is it cheaper to just buy the dies separate from the stamp sets or to buy the stamp set dies together as a bundle since you save 10%? And 9 out of 10 times, well, I think every time that I've compared the cost, if you were to get the dies at 20% off and then buy the stamp set, it's a little bit cheaper than buying them bundled together at the 10% off while this sale is going on only. So thank you, Nancy. I'm glad that you guys like to watch. And that's why I like to do these. Like, I felt bad not doing one. So anyway, so that is what my suggestion is. If not, you can always just do the math, figure out if it's a bigger bang for your buck. But I think it is a better option for you to do the sale of 20% off the dies and then just buy the stamp set separately. Current classes that I have open are my Sweet Stockings class is still open. Whimsical Trees is open. My Painted Christmas class is open. You're going to see me showcasing that beautiful set next week when I have a couple other additional projects that I'll be showing you with that. The Beautiful Baubles class is open. And what you're going to be seeing tonight is a class that just opened in the last little bit. But I'm going to be showing you some awesome little tips and tricks with this bundle. Because at first it can look a little intimidating. But once you kind of see how the dies work and how it's all laid out and put together, it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to piece it all together. When you see how I've put the framed art together, you're going to go, oh my gosh, because it's really not bad at all. And so, yeah, Shireen, you still get your weekly Kim fix. So, yeah, you guys don't get rid of me that easily. So, anyway, so with that, let's look at who our lucky winners are from last week. So if you shared my video last week, you got into the drawing to win some goodies, right? So I drew 2 names from that. And the winners are for the Cute Stars. The Cute Star Adhesive Back Sequence was Nancy Snoblin. So congratulations to Nancy. I know, Nancy, you've been under the weather, so hopefully these bring a smile to your face and you get feeling a little bit better. And then the winner of the Playing with Patterns Resin Dots is Kit Jenkins. Congratulations to Kit. And Kit, thank you for watching every week. So congratulations to our 2 winners. And then up for grabs that we have for this next week is the Pale Papaya ribbon. And I paired the Pale Papaya ribbon with the Pool Party striped ribbon. So one of the ribbons is from our annual catalog and the other one is from our holiday catalog. Okay. So with that, I'm trying to think if I have anything else. I talked to you about my Facebook Live next week being on Wednesday. So we will still be creating together. Today's the last day of the promotion. And I will also be doing an ordering promotion as I'm getting closer and closer to that. Most of you who have been watching me know that I'm close to that 500,000 in sales mark. So I will be doing a promotion for that. I am within my $1,000 range of being there. So what I do is whoever puts in the order that gets me over that mark gets a $100 shopping spree as a thank you for helping me reach that. And so it's still just mind-blowing when you think about the fact that that's unbelievable amount of stamps, ink, and paper and things that has gone through my hands, so to speak, just by sharing what I love. It's unbelievable. Oh, the other thing is the join promotion. And I don't want any of you to be scared by this because I know it can sound scary, but Stampin' Up! Has an amazing promotion going on right now where you can pick $125 of product for only $75. You get $50 in free product. And yes, you're joining Stampin' Up! As what they technically consider a demonstrator, but it's like a risk-free join promotion. You don't have to continue buying if you don't want to, but any additional orders that you put in after that, you get a discount of 20%. So I kind of look at it like a membership. I mean, it's kind of like when you buy a Sam's Club membership. Same kind of thing. You're buying a membership to get 20% off additional orders that you put in. And it's not scary. I help you get that all set up. I help you with your join kit order, all of that. But it's a really amazing opportunity for you to get discounts on product and join a really amazing community of stampers. We call ourselves the Basement Bunch. Demonstrator team. We do lots of fun things, Christmas parties and team retreats and team card days and all kinds of fun things. So if it's something that you'd be interested in, let me know. I'm hoping to add 10 people during this promotion to our group. So I would love to have you consider doing that. So, okay, so with that, I am going to transition my camera down to my stamp area. You're going to see some of my beautiful cards, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the bundle, and then we're going to get started creating some beautiful projects. All right, so one moment while I transition my camera down. Okay, so as normal, you're going to get a little sneak peek at my projects, or at least a handful of them. And I'm going to actually start with my cards, and then I'm going to show you one of my framed art that I have that isn't in a frame, because I want you to be able to see it better with it not being in the frame, so that you can see kind of how it's all pieced together, because then you'll get a better idea of how easy peasy it really can be. Okay, so this bundle is in our holiday catalog. And it is this amazing Peaceful Cabin stamp set and coordinating dies, and it sells for $54. Now the dies can look a little bit intimidating, so here you guys are getting a sneak peek of all of my cards. I'm going to move them a little bit out of the way here, and then I'm going to kind of show you the products and the designer series paper. Let me pull out my chair so I've got an extra layer of room here. Okay. So my dies have seen some well love already because I've used them a lot. So these are the dies that cut out like your little areas for your cabin. So for instance, here's your cabin. Okay, so when you stamp it, you line up your cabin top, and then it will cut out the edgelet, like the trees or like the winter scene in the background. Now, if your cardstock goes over, you just kind of cut it with paper snips, which is what I did. You're going to see that here in just a little bit when I demonstrate this. And then you have one that does the trees the exact same way. So it just kind of overlaps the trees and does it the exact same way. Now, if you wanted to just do kind of, this does not actually cut out the cabin. This just kind of gives an inlay of the cabin. So if you wanted to kind of just have like a, I mean, what it looks like right here is what you get. Okay, so it just kind of gives you like an imprint of the cabin. Then you have some trees here. Now this does the same thing. So let me show you what I mean with these trees. So you can, on this right here, what I did is I stamped the trees and then I ran it through with this. And you're gonna see why this looks kind of funky here in just a bit. But after you run it through, what I did is I put this on top to run it through to make those holes in there. And then the same thing with this one right here. So this is kind of how you get the effect of that look that I did on these trees right here. Okay? So that's kind of a neat little technique thing that you're going to see me use in just a little bit. But it looks complicated. It really, truly is not. All right. And then you have this cute little, hi Diana, I am so glad you were able to join me live tonight. This little cute little cutout cuts out like the little fox. I think it's a little fox right here. Cuts out the little fox. And then you have other little trees here as well. You have the little snowflakes, little fence. So you'll see me use the fence. So lots of awesome little dies here that kind of coordinate with that. Again, this bundle together is $54 and I love it. Next, I'm going to share with you the designer series paper. This designer series paper is $15 and let me show you it here. So the designer series paper, you have a whole bundle here. I know those dies, Kathy, are pretty awesome. Okay, so the bundle here, you have this designer series paper. And I'm going to tell you that the paper, or this catalog, once again, does not do this paper justice whatsoever. So when I show you this paper, you're going to go, oh my gosh. Here is one of the pieces. I'm not sure if even on my Facebook Live, you're going to get the full effect detail. But look at the detail in this. Can you see the sparkly snowflakes in there? I love it. It's just gorgeous. Again, the detail is not in that catalog. I'll show you the back sides in here in just a little bit. And Diane, I totally understand that because it's called life. I just appreciate that you come back and watch every single week on replay. Now this one I really like because here you can cut this into 6x6 pieces and then you can cut it down even more and you got a beautiful card front that you could use without even needing to do anything more with your card. You could just add a sentiment, add some ribbon, and there you have a beautiful card. And I'm actually using a lot of this designer series paper to make my customer Christmas cards. So any of you that are my customers or have purchased from me in the last year, be on the lookout because you're going to be either getting a card using this awesome paper or I did cards using candy canes. So, but yeah, I love this paper. Like I said, I'll show you the back in just a little bit. And then you have this one right here, which is like a wood grain. Love it. And again, it's all got the sparkly look to it. And then you have this one right here. And then you have this one, and this one is another good one as well because you can cut this one in half, and then you cut it into by 4, so you can get like 12. And then you also have another card front that you can just simply add some layered cardstock to it, and voila, you got some instant cards. Now the piece that's missing from all of my packs of this paper is the piece that I used to make this beautiful framed art. So let me see if I can find on my back table one of these that is stamped that's out of the frame so that I can show you what it looks like. But this is the piece that is not here because I've made a bunch of these for Christmas gifts. And then I had people seeing it and ask me to do a class with it. So let me show you this in detail. It looks beautiful inside the shadow box, but this is it not in its frame, so you can kind of get a better look at it. This is my 8x8 sampler. You guys, it is gorgeous. So this is the designer series paper. Can you see the beautiful snowflakes on it? The only thing I want to add to this yet is some of the sequins, okay? So what I did is I added some Wink of Stella to all of the trees. Okay, so let me bring in my stamp set so you guys can kind of see what I did. Now it is my goal to do a blog post on this and post all of the different measurements, but it's literally just a piece of 8x8 cardstock, a couple of, then a black one, and then this is just a 6x6 piece of that beautiful designer series paper. And then from there, I've literally just layered, you can see here that I stamped this cabin piece on a piece of white. And then I did the trees in the back the same way. And you're going to see as we make cards together how I've layered the cabin with the trees together. And then I just added these trees on top. So it's got 3 layers. These fences and the trees are one layer, the cabin's another layer, and then the third layer is the trees in the background. And then for this piece right here, this sentiment is from the stamp set. May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season. And then I did run this through the machine with one of the dies from the Sweet Stocking dies. But look at how beautiful that is. Just gorgeous. And I like to do the smaller sized framed arts because I usually make one for my mom for Christmas. And my mom's got a smaller house, so she doesn't have a lot of space. So it just makes it easier for her to put things out that are a little bit smaller in nature. And she loves winter scenes. So I just thought that that was just simply stunning and gorgeous. So anyway, like I said, I will be doing a blog post. This is for any of you that are local to the Mount Pleasant, Michigan area. I am doing a class on December 1st where we will be making this beautiful project. The framed, or I think it's 25 or 20, I think it's $20 or $25, I forget. It does include the shadow box, all right? So that does include this beautiful shadow box. You can see it's a gorgeous box. And it can either sit up or it has a little hook as well. So anyway, I wanted to just showcase that first before we get into tonight's cards. Okay, so let me start by showing you the cards, and we will go through these together, and you'll see how easy it is to work with this stamp set as we go through the projects. So the first one I'm going to share with you is, let me see here. Gotta find it here, is this one right here. Okay, so this is the first one I'm going to share with you, and you're going to see how easy it is to stamp the cabin. Now the sample that I did for you, I stamped the cabin in a little bit of a different color, and I agree, Philomena, isn't that going to be a great Christmas present? I actually made 8 of them, so I'm giving a lot, one of them to a bunch of my sister-in-laws. So my husband, I'm not sure if I've ever shared this, but maybe I did. My husband is one of 15 siblings. He is number, I gotta think here now. Oh my goodness. He's number 12. There's 3 younger than him, but he is the youngest boy. But a few of his sisters give him gifts. And so we always try to do something nice back. And so that is what I'm making for them. And then I made one for my boss. I really think my boss will like it as well. He loves outdoor scenes type things. So anyway, so what I kind of, how you kind of do that is you're going to cut a piece of cardstock, whatever size you might think that you want it to be. And then you're going to do your stamping of your cabin, okay? So I'm just going to kind of show you on this first one to kind of give you an idea. Now this one I stamped with Smoky Slate. This one I'm going to be stamping with the crumb cake, just so that you can kind of see the different look that you get with it. And you're going to kind of stamp the cabin up kind of high, knowing that wherever you stamp your cabin, all of the space underneath your cabin is going to be kind of left over or still available for you to be able to stamp your greeting or anything like that on, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to find that coordinating die. So you'll see how easy this is to line up. So you're going to find that die, and then from there, you just line this up, and then you run it through your machine, okay? So I have one of my girls down here. They're going to run this through just like this, and they're going to bring it back to me. And then we are going to, I'm going to show you how easy that is and how it's going to look similar to the one that we are going to use. But I want you to kind of see how easy that is, okay? Because it's really quite cool. Okay, and then from there, we are going to layer that onto a piece of my, I have 3 different colors here. Thank you, dear. So it's been ran through, and you're going to see that we have this beautiful piece left, and that is what we're going to put on top of there. You see that? So you could make this many different sizes. If I only wanted a little bit of space down here, then I would have stamped the cabin down further, and then I would have only had a little bit. So on all of the cards that I'm going to be making tonight, again, you kind of want to have that idea in mind. How much space do you want? Okay. So as we're working through the cards, you're going to notice that if I have trees behind them, the trees have more space than the cabin. I hope that makes sense. So that the trees can be up higher so that the cabin's down lower to give you that 3D dimensional look. Okay. All right. So anyway, from there, I have a piece of basic black, and I used cherry cobbler. Let me put that die back. Okay, so we are going to use the cherry cobbler for my card base. So this is cut at 5.5 by 8.5. And then I have a piece of my basic black that's 5 1/4 by 4, and a piece of the smoky slate that's 5 by 3 3/4. I ran this through the emboss machine with the evergreen embossing folder to get some of those trees in the background. Okay. Oh, Janet, you will love this set. It is so easy to use. Again, it just takes a little bit of, I wouldn't even say planning, but kind of figuring out how you kind of want to layer those all together. Now, if you wanted to have this cabin be on here with dimensionals and have more depth, you could put those dimensionals on it. Okay, I don't want that right now, so I'm just going to layer it directly on here. From there, you're going to use the ribbon. So this is the gray granite shimmer ribbon, and I'm just going to cut my ribbon across here. And I'm going to add some adhesive to the sides here and wrap it around. And I have to admit, when I first saw this bundle in the catalog, I was also a little intimidated, going, oh, that's going to be really hard to use. And once I played with it and saw that it was a very easy bundle to get used to and to work with, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a must-have. What I like about this bundle is that you don't necessarily have to use it just for Christmas. This bundle can be used for all winter long cards, and it can be used for birthday. This could be used for sympathy. It could be used for all kinds of different occasions and not just for the holidays. All you got to do is find a different stamp set and change out those sentiments, and you could use it for anything that you really wanted to. So I'm just going to tie this ribbon on here, like you guys know how I normally do that. And then from there, I just topped this card off with a few rhinestones. So let me find my rhinestones here. And, you know, everything's better with a little bit of bling. And so we're just gonna slide off a few little rhinestones in here. Now on my sample, I also used Wink of Stella, and I didn't grab one here, which is just fine. But you can see where I added some Wink of Stella to the roof of the cabin and along here. You can kind of see where, oh, thank you. Okay, we are gonna add a little bit of Wink of Stella because a pen just miraculously appeared. I love that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella, makes it look like it's fresh fallen snow to the cabin. There you have it. So, oh, Nancy said this embossing trees folders on back order right now. Yes, I think it might be. Hopefully not for long though. But isn't that gorgeous? And there you kind of got a little bit of a different look of, this I believe is I stamped in the Sahara sand. And I like to do that to you guys to give you a little bit of an idea of the different look that you can get by stamping different colors. This one was done in crumb cake. So you can kind of get an idea of how different the different colors will look. But it's still all done in neutrals. And it is a gorgeous card and so, so simple. And I stamped the greeting, your kindness makes the world a more beautiful place to be. Again, one of the sentiments right from the Peaceful Cabin bundle. Okay? All right, so there we have our first card done. Woohoo! All right, let's see what we have next here. All right, our next one. Most of you who have been watching me week after week, thank you, Carol and Shireen and Janet. Most of you who watch me week after week know my obsession this year with the cork paper. I cannot get enough of the cork paper. So why not build a beautiful scene with that cork paper? Now, I can't take full credit for this card because if you look in the catalog, I do believe there was a card in the catalog that used cork paper that gave me a little bit of inspiration. Okay, so there we go. I had a message pop up that blocked all of your comments, so I had to close that out. So I looked at this and got a little bit of inspiration from this card right here. But then I had to change it up a little bit to make it my own. So with that, isn't that gorgeous? I chose to use crumb cake for my card base for this one. And I'm just going to fold this in half. And then I did that exact same technique that I showed you guys earlier, where I just took my cardstock, and then this one would have been about this big, all right? Stamped my cabin on it, ran it through. Now, this is where I had mentioned, if you're running it through and your cardstock is a little bit wider, which this case it wasn't, but if your cardstock is a little bit wider than this die, you just kind of cut off the end on your own. You just take your paper snips and you just cut it off, okay? Then what I did is I stamped the trees next on Whisper White, and I did the exact same thing with this die. So since I kind of showcased that with my first card, I'm not going to kind of take the time to showcase it again. But I ran this one through, and you can see it's exactly what I did. I just cut this off. Because what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut these trees apart. Because if I put these behind here, the cabin, you know, in the front, they're not going to line up right. You see this? This is where you get to have a little bit of fun. And I have some dimensions on them. So I am just going to cut these apart. So what I did is I stamped them. I ran them through with this die to give me that effect, okay? And then remember, I talked about these right here. So I ran these through on the top to get the holes through them as well, to get that amazing look, okay? So I'm gonna move all my dies out of the way. And then what you're going to do is you are going to, all I did was layered these trees behind the cabin with some dimensionals. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on behind my cabin. Let me find my dimensionals here. And let me make sure I put them in the right spot. Okay. And all I'm going to do is layer them on here kind of where I want them. So I kind of want them, oops, let me get these little openings out of my cabin here. I want those to be visible. All right. And you can cut off any of the excess stuff that we don't need, okay? So I'm just going to kind of put my little trees in the back here. So they're going to go on there. And then I'm just going to cut this flesh. And then this is the other one that I cut off, and I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. So I'm just going to put a little dimensional on this end. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then I'm just going to cut that off, whatever off that I don't need to have sticking out. No one's going to see the back of this, so no one's going to see how ugly the back of it is, okay? And then this is going to go on here. I did wrap some ribbon around it, and this just goes on the front. How quick and simple is that? So let's wrap some ribbon around that. Again, quick and simple. So easy. So we're going to wrap some ribbon around this cork. I went ahead and kept with the gray for all of it because I just liked the neutral. And I'm just going to wrap the gray ribbon around the top. Just going to wrap it right over. Just love this bundle. Like I said, it's been so fun to create with once you kind of get it figured out. But like I said, at first it was a little intimidating, not gonna lie. And that's why I'm like, I have to showcase this, because once you get it figured out, so not intimidating anymore. Okay, and then we're going to put this on with some dimensionals. And so I'm going to be adding my dimensionals in spots where this isn't already dimensioned, okay? So that way it's not going to be too big and bumpy. So I'm adding my dimensionals again in spots where I don't already have the trees adhered down. And I'm just going to put this down like that. Oops, there we go. And then you can see on my sample here that I have this cute little, like, I think he's a wolf. So or fox. So I stamped him on my little scrap here. And for him, now him you can use, there's a die cut for him, but because I'm just here on my Facebook Live with all of you, and it's just one, I am going to just fussy cut him out because I don't mind a fussy cut. And it's just one. And then we're going to use a dimensional to put him on, and I'm just going to use the edge of one of these. Maybe, if I can get one off. There we go. And then that will go on my card right here. So fun, like it's walking in the snow. And then my little thank you, and the thank you is also from this stamp set. So the same, there's my scissors hiding under my dimensionals. So I'm just going to cut a banner into my thank you. Cut my little banner and adhere that down. Maybe if I can get it cut straight. Close enough. Okay, we're going to put that on with some dimensionals. And there you have our second card. So cute. Okay. And this time I'm going to put my thank you over here instead of lining it up there. And we're going to add a couple of rhinestones to the snow. I'll just put one here, one on my banner. And why not add some more Wink of Stella, because, you know, I really like Wink of Stella to the roof and to the grass, or the snow, not grass. You know what I meant. And look at that gorgeous card. Again, so simple. Can you guys see how addicting and fun this cabin bundle can be? Love it. Okay, what time is it? Oh, we got lots of time yet. All right, so let me see what I have next on my pile here. Oh, this is a pretty one. So this one's going to kind of follow. Thank you, Carol and Janet and Luann. You guys are awesome. So this one's going to kind of follow the exact same pattern as my previous one did. So here's where you have, again, the same thing. Again, it's all about cutting that piece of paper big enough to accommodate whatever you want to put down here. So if I didn't want to put any kind of words or anything, I would have stamped my cabin down further and then cut out with that die, okay? Here's my little trees we're going to layer behind. Now, this is cut out with the Memento black ink, and this is cut out with my gray, I think this is the gray granite or smoky slate ink. I forget which ink I used on those. But the same kind of thing. We're going to cut these apart to be able to put them on each end, okay? So I am just going to cut these apart. And then these I did not do any kind of dimension. These I just layered right behind. So for this, I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back. And we are just going to glue these behind here like this. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive onto the other side, and I'm going to cut that white piece off of that tree. And I am just going to adhere this tree over here on this side. Quick and simple. This is the awesome paper that I mentioned I had in that framed art that I showed you. And we're just going to layer this all onto a piece of my basic black mat. This is cut 5 1/4 by 4. And so we're going to start by adding this piece of paper. This is cut 2 by 5, and it's going to be layered on up here at the top. And then we're just going to layer this amazing piece down here at the bottom. Look at that beautiful scene, winter scene that we created just by adding that on there. So amazing. Okay, so I'm just gonna add some adhesive on here. Hi Peggy and hi Missy, welcome ladies. All right, so I'm just gonna glue that on there. Beautiful. All right, so I already got stamped on there that your kindness makes the world a more beautiful place to be. I love that sentiment. I left enough room here on the bottom for my piece of ribbon to go across. Although, to be honest with you, these cards really don't even hardly need to have that ribbon added. I think they are just beautiful the way they are. But, you know, we got to have our bling and our embellishments added. And then I layered this onto a piece of the gray granite cardstock. So this is my piece of card base cut 5.5 by 8.5. And we are just going to layer this on. Now, this is a class that just recently opened, and it is open for a while. I think we have this class open through in the middle of December. However, we have kits almost already prepped and ready to go out. We are waiting for, I think, our product to come in, our ribbon and our rhinestones. And once we receive that, these kits will be ready to go in the mail. We are trying our best to get everything prepped and ready so that you guys have everything in time to get them ready for Christmas. So that is why we opened this class a little bit earlier than we normally do, because we weren't going to open this class until December. So it is opened up now for any of you that are interested that would like to take advantage of the class. So you may have seen it already in your email, or you may have seen me post the link on my Facebook page. If you have any questions about it or anything, you can always Facebook message me as well. Be more than happy to help you with any questions that you have. So there is card number, I think, 3. Quick and simple. It's so gorgeous. All right. This next card is going to be a little bit different. It's going to show you how I actually used some of the designer series paper to make this card really, really simple. So instead of always using the cabins, remember that piece of paper that I showed you where you could just cut it and use the paper as a card base? Well, that is exactly what I did in this card right here. Look at the gorgeousness of that shimmer and shine. And this one, I did not use the trees where I stamped them. I just simply used the trees. And then what I did is I stamped some of the snowflakes on top of them. Okay, so you can see here it's just a whisper white trees. And I cut the trees out and then ran them through with those little white, or the part that does the holes, and layered this together. Quick, simple, easy. Thank you, Carol. I know it. I think card number 3, you're talking about this one. This one's probably one of my favorites as well. That designer series paper is one of my favorite papers. It makes the perfect winter scene ever, 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 ever. All right, so for this one, we're just going to adhere this down. Again, this is that piece of paper where you can get 12 card bases or card layers out of it. And then we just cut out the trees, and we're going to put those on with some dimensionals. And then what I did is I stamped this little stamp right here with crumb cake, the little snowflakes on it, to add a little bit of dimension to it, so it wouldn't just be stark white. And I'm going to put some dimensions on that and put that here along the bottom. Again, this paper is gorgeous. You can't go wrong with the paper. Adding a little bit of the adhesive there, because this ribbon is just going to go kind of the whole zigzag back and forth effect that I normally do on some of my cards. So just going to go back and forth here with this ribbon. And we're going to cut that off. There we go. And then I stamped the may you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season. I stamped that onto my piece. Oh, where did it go? There it is under my adhesive. Oops. And that's just going to go on here with some dimensionals. So I'm just going to put one on each end. And that is going to go on my card here. And then topped it off with a rhinestone on each one of these. Now this is just a punch. I believe that, or no, this might be a shape. Oh, of course you're going to ask me to remember. I'm not sure if this is a punch. This might be one of the shapes from the Painted Christmas. I'll have to look into that. But there you have a quick and simple, easy peasy card. Okay, easy peasy. All right, my last card is another one using and showcasing the beautiful scene. Okay, now for this one, what I did is I started with a piece of my, this is the, wow, I have a mess going on. Smoky slate cardstock. So I used some smoky slate and some gray granite, okay? And then I have a cherry cobbler piece that is 5 1/4 by 4, and then a piece of basic white that's 5 by 3 3/4. Now, what I did on this one is I stamped those trees in the background. So here you have the trees. So I just stamped the 2 on this one, and then I stamped the 2 on this one, and then this one right here on the front or on the side. So I stamped some trees in the background of this, okay? And then I still went ahead and did my little scene like I normally did. So this one, again, I cut my piece of cardstock, used that die like I showcased at the very beginning of my Facebook Live, did a little stamp with my a fence, and added the little fox. Again, you could do any kind of stamping that you wanted. You could incorporate snowflakes if you wanted to make it look like it was snow falling. You could incorporate some of the little blotches here if you wanted to make it look like it was, you know, snow, or I mean, some like smoke coming from the chimney. You could get so creative with this. Okay, so for this, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down to my card. Thank you, Courtney. I really wanted these cards I wanted to keep them in a very neutral color pattern. So you're going to notice that that's kind of what I did with all of my cards for tonight. They all kind of follow, I did incorporate cherry cobbler in a couple of them, but they all kind of follow the neutral patterns. I just really fell in love with that when I was designing with this set. And I will bring in my framed art piece that I made. I think some of you who joined me late may have missed seeing that, because that was kind of my inspiration for keeping things very neutral. And I love the look of it. So it just makes these cards look, I don't know, very professional, I think. So there you have it. But again, you can see that there's dimension. Now, if I wanted to, I could have also done the dimensions on this and raised that up if I wanted to, but I didn't want to do that. I added a little bit of that ribbon the exact same way, the little zigzaggy method. So I'm just going to kind of do that now. Just a little bit here, zigzaggy, zigzaggy. Not a lot, just a little bit there. And then I did my For You. Again, it's one of the images from the stamp set. And I am just going to cut my little banner piece into it. So I already have it stamped, again, just to save a little bit of time tonight. For You. And then we're going to put that on there with a couple of dimensionals. One here, one there. That would be perfect, Shireen. But they should have had that in the stamp set. I think it would have been great. Great little addition having kids doing that. Love it. All right, add a few rhinestones to the card, and there you have it. Quick and easy. All right, let me bring my cards back in so you guys can see all of them. So like I said, this is a class that is currently open. And I agree with Carol. I think this is my favorite one right here, this beautiful scene one. Let me bring them all back in so you guys can see them. And then I am going to bring in, so this was the card where I showcased the different colors of how you can get, this is where I did it in the gray. This was the Sahara sand, and then the crumb cake. So you could kind of really get a good handle on the different colors. And then this was my framed art. So let me bring that in. I know you're going to get a glare from the shadow box. So I have one that doesn't have, that's not in the shadow box. This is the one in the shadow box to kind of give you an idea. But this is the one that I have to show you that's not in the shadow box. That is just gorgeous of how you can get the different effects of doing projects with this awesome bundle. So I hope that you consider adding this bundle to your collection. Again, it is $54. It includes the stamp set and all those amazing dies. And again, I always say the best compliment anybody can ever give me is duplicating my cards. So feel free to case away. I get that question a lot, and I would love it if you feel free to make my cards. And again, if you're interested in purchasing the class, let me know. Or if you're interested in purchasing the bundle, I would be more than happy to hook you up with that as well. So thank you all so very much for joining me this evening. Like I said, I'll be live with you next week, although it will be on Wednesday. Oh, look at all the hearts you guys are giving me. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, I will be live with you all next week on Wednesday instead of Thursday, so that you all may enjoy Thanksgiving with your family as well as me with my family. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.